What's going on, guys? So today I want to be demonstrating you a video of a druggings that happened right here in Medellin. Three Mexicans were drugged by these three girls right here you see on the video. So they took them back to their apartment and they got drugged. I mean these girls are just getting like very brave to do something, because what if one of the guys didn't want to drink or something? So how would they get away with this? But anyways, though, this is why I tell you, like, if you're gonna come to Medellin, Colombia, and especially if it's your first time, try to get in a place that has security, that has, like, a guard that's gonna check IDs, make sure that they're not allowed to leave unless you're escorting them out, just to take that extra precautions of safety. But this is something that's going on. This is an epidemic now that's going on in Medellin. As you see the girls like walking out with like everything, it's just really getting out of hand in Medellin, and it also happens in other cities, but especially in Medellin. I'm looking at this and just like, wow. So we're seeing an epidemic of druggings and robberies in Colombia like no other time. The fact that there's an increase in tourism is only going to draw more criminal activity, and people have to realize in December, that's when the crime increases a lot. That's when a lot of people start taking more advantage. I think when it comes to the druggings in Colombia, there are things that you could do to avoid it, but I just kind of feel this is something that's been going on for decades. Like, the Colombians have been doing this to each other for a long time, and especially in the Medellin area. I don't think it's going to decrease anytime soon. I don't see the city or the government doing anything to crack down on it. Colombia really doesn't depend on tourism like other countries per se. Like, their GDP is not really dependent on tourism, so they don't really care. But there's been an increase of tourism in Medellin. There's a lot of foreigners that are going over there. So obviously you're gonna have a lot more incidents like this. I think in the month of November, there's like 4 foreigners that were killed or deleted in Colombia. And so this is something that's increasing every year. Is just going to increase the numbers. People have to be aware and understand. Some people are going to be like, well, there's a lot of YouTube videos. Yes, there is, but a lot of content creators, unfortunately, I feel like the content creators that have big platforms are not talking about this. I'm talking about the guys that have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000 subscribers. They just sell you a dream. Just be aware of that. I think guys should talk about safety, what's going on. And somebody doesn't want to talk about it, then I understand. Some people do have a business on their channel, so they don't want to put that, mix that in. But you do have a responsibility. If you're going to make videos talking about, the dating scene, the nightlife, then you do got to talk about the dangers, and that's what I'm doing here. I have a small platform, but I'm going to go ahead and tell people, like, be careful. This is something, like I said, has been going on for a long time. Vice did a special about this about 10, 15 years ago. And so this has been going on before a lot of the influx of foreigners, and before they even had Tinder. I would tell people just stay away from Tinder. It could be very dangerous. Gangs have infiltrated it, and unfortunately that's what's going on. That's like the root of the problem. It's always like almost the same thing. But I know that, like I said, locals been getting drugged even before they had Tinder. So like, even if they got rid of Tinder, this is not going to go away. But Tinder just makes it easier for the criminals to get a hold of you. You understand? So you look at this video, you see, like, usually these kind of things don't happen when it's a group of guys, 3 or more. Usually, like, that's very bold of the girls to do something like that. But if you watch the video, you would just see, like, I just think people are just so desperate that they're doing desperate things just to get money. And so that's just the way it is. Sometimes they catch them, sometimes they don't. And the reason why they're doing this is because, let's be honest, they know guys are leaving. They're not going to be there that long. They're going to stay like, what, a week or 5 days, and they're not going to go to the prosecutor's office, the Fiscalia. They're going to leave. And so that's why these people are doing that. They don't care. And if some of the Venezuelans that are doing it, they even have a better advantage, because even if the heat gets brought on them, they could just go back to their country. Who's going to chase them? Let's keep it real. So this has been going on for a long time, guys. Like I said, you got some content creators that talk about the safety, but I think some of them just feel like, because they've been there for a while, they're not really being honest. Like, this is something that's an epidemic at this point. Like, you're seeing, no country in the world do you have to worry about this. Like, 4 foreigners killed in 1 month. And, like, I don't know if any other countries where this is going on. Like, usually tourists and foreigners are protected to a certain extreme. And this is not, I think Medellin and Colombia in general really doesn't care. Like, they can only do so much. You know, their police forces are tied up. They don't really have the resources. And people are doing this with cameras. So I suggest if you do go to a place, you're a new traveler or even a veteran, get a place that has security. Make sure, you know, you take care of your guards. You know, something simple as buying them a box of pizza and giving them a tip and meaning, hey, you know what? If I bring somebody over here, please make sure they come escorted with me. And shit, and you know, you take care of your guards, you take care of your security. Believe me when I tell you, they're gonna take care of you. All right, like buying them, like I said, some food, a tip of just maybe 50,000 pesos, which is about $12, whatever. It goes a long way. So take the extra precaution step. We've seen videos of some people not doing that. There's another video of the guy. I think he tried to bring the girl upstairs. They told him no, so he went somewhere else, and he unfortunately got drugged. So that's another thing. If the girl doesn't have a celular, don't mess with her, and tell the girl, you know, like first of all, there's not a hookup culture in Colombia. So Colombia's like the worst place to go for that. So you're looking for something like that, just go to another country where that happens. And if you're going to be partaking in something like that, just go to like a red light district and just do it where it's safe. Okay, guys? And if you're going to date a normal girl, just know that there's not a hookup culture. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen once in a while, but it's not the norm, especially in cities like Medellin or Cali, where it's like the women have to take extra precautionary steps to be safe, because there are security issues. Just like our safety is like a big thing in Colombia, guess what? The women feel the same way as we do. There's a lot of safety issues when it comes to them as well. And so that's why I'm saying, like, make sure, you know, you look at the Facebook, the Instagram, make sure she has pictures of her family. You know, if she doesn't have a social media account, that's a red flag, guys. I made a lot of these videos, but I want to make them again because I'm seeing all these things happen to our people. At the end of the day, you know, like, we have to take care of each other. There are some expats there that don't care. I mean, I got kicked out of a WhatsApp group. One of the guys was saying, well, I almost got drugged, but I caught the girl. And I was like, you just got lucky. You didn't do nothing special. And some of the guys were like, we don't care. So you do have those expats that are like that, so be aware of those guys as well. I feel like the community there, the expat community and the guys that live there or traveling there, it's not as tight as other countries. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for a new guy or even a veteran that's going there. So I will tell you guys, like, be very safe when it comes to Medellin. When it comes to Cartagena, there's a lot of druggings that's going on. Like I said, there's not a hookup culture. So don't think that you're this smooth person. The girl wants to go to your apartment the first night. Like, that's a red flag. And if you do get a place that has security. On some expats, the majority of the guys that live there live in Loretta's area, Belen, Envigado. So they have buildings that don't have that security. So I understand. But if you're going to stay in the building, like, don't think because you have cameras that it's going to deter the criminal, because it's not. But I will say, guys, if you're going to go to a place that doesn't have security, you got to have to take the extra precaution steps. Hide your stuff. And don't just hide it underneath the bed. Hide it somewhere where you don't think they're ever going to search it. Have a backup credit card. Have some extra cash. And hide it, like, really good. Don't put it in between your clothes, because these criminals take everything. I've seen them take the pots and pans, the clothes. So just put it somewhere where it's, like, the least place that they're going to look. And just because you have a safe on the wall doesn't mean nothing. I remember at the beginning of the year, my friend saw a robbery in his apartment. 2 Mexicans were also drugged. And you could hear the girls breaking the center around the safe, the wall, so they could get the safe out. So I don't know if the guy had it, but I remember my friend had to help these people out. They sent them money through Western Union. And so it's one of those things where a lot of guys, it's just happening a lot to foreigners. And unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is that Colombia might become the next Acapulco, in a certain sense, that, like, crime got so bad there. But it wasn't like, the thing with Acapulco and Mexico was like, the crime wasn't targeting, like, tourists like how it is in Colombia, and people stopped going. And even in Playa del Carmen a few years ago, when there was a shooting, I believe, I remember I went during that same next month, and it was dead, and now it's always packed. But, you know, this could happen as well. But I just think because there's so much, it's known for, like, you know, let's be honest, there's a lot of guys that go over there for, you know, the women and stuff like that. So I think it's going to keep drawing guys in no matter what. But there's also a large group of tourists that are not going over there because of this. Like, people are looking at the safety issues and they're saying, nah, I'm good. Like, even when I talk to people from other countries what's going on, they have no idea. Like I said, there's not a lot of YouTubers that look at these type of videos, and there's a lot of Spanish people that visit Colombia as well. And so I don't know if there's YouTubers and those content creators that are making videos like that. I've never seen one. But I will say, if you're going to go over there, be careful, guys. Get a place that has security. Hell, if you could get a security guard or somebody that does security to follow you just to be safe, do it. It's only like $25, $30. You can have unarmed and armed. And shit, what's $30 for your safety? You can't put a price on. And not only that, $25 isn't nothing. And shit, so I think if I was there for 2 weeks, and I kind of feel like, it is a little bit getting this, a little bit more sketchier. I would say like this is getting out of control, guys. And I would say if you're gonna go over there, please be careful. But if you could choose a different destination, I would never tell people not to boycott it. But I would say if you can't do things to make sure that you're gonna be a little bit extra safe, maybe go somewhere else to Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Brazil. There's a lot of countries out there for you guys. Colombia is not the only country that you could visit. So my advice to you guys, if you're gonna go out there, please be safe, please be careful, guys. Thanks for anybody that watched this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on what you think I'm saying. What are your experiences? Do you think it's getting worse? Do you think maybe it's getting overblown? Do you think it's whatever your thoughts are, leave comments. It helps the algorithm push my channel. And please guys, if you're gonna go there, be safe. There's no reason for all these guys to be getting deleted like this. Like, you just common sense and the way you move also. But I will say, even locals can get got. All my local friends have been robbed, pickpocket. Sometimes they don't even notice that they get robbed. So even if you move like a local, doesn't mean you can't get got. So it's one of the biggest issues with Colombia's security. Security is one of the biggest issues with them. When you ask them, like, even the first day I got to Medellin, there was two guys talking about how, like, there's a lot of robberies on Lorettes and stuff. And these are two locals. And then even I remember I was at the coffee shop, and when I was hearing the two locals, the owner came out and he told me, he asked me if the bicycle was mine, and I was like, no. He's like, oh, because you need to tie it up, you need to lock it up. They already robbed 7 bicycles. And I was like, what? Because there's like a tree in front of his coffee shop, so like the person that was eating or talking about the safety issues, that was actually his bicycle, but he was like watching it right there because it's in the front. But I mean, the first day I got there, they're already talking about safety, and these are the locals. So that's why I told guys, like, if you go over there, ask these conversations with the locals and try to get to know like what's going on, so they could give you like their advice and their opinion. I think you're gonna see a different opinion from the locals than you do from some of the content creators, because a lot of guys do say like are denial. I'm not gonna say no names, but there's this one guy that said like, oh, well, maybe they get a high off of doing something like this. You really think guys want to get drugged, bro? Like, and this is a guy that's like been there for like a year and a half. So I mean, remember, you got some content creators that sell packages on their channels, so they're not gonna say nothing bad. So be aware of that as well. Like, so I will tell you guys, thanks for anybody that watched it and the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And like I said, I have a lot of other videos talking about safety, but I just wanted to do this one because I just kind of feel like it's gotten like really, really bad in Colombia, especially Medellin. And I don't want to see anybody, go through this stuff, But I will say, take those extra steps to be safe, guys. And until next time, guys, please take care and shit. If you're going to go to Colombia, please take the extra steps. Get security. Get a place that has cameras, a guard. Make sure you take those extra steps, because it's not worth it getting drugged or losing your life or getting deleted or getting your things stolen. And definitely in a third world country. So please, guys, stay safe until next time, guys.